and welcome to the David Thompson Show, fighting tyranny one day at a time. It's Thursday, May 8th, 2025. I hope you're all doing well. I'm glad you can join me today. We're going to talk about why Donald Trump is attacking colleges and universities. And you know, there's a big battle going on with Harvard, and I'm not going to get into that completely. We're going to go over the bigger picture here. Full disclosure, I went to a small college, and right here in Pittsburgh, and I was not ready to go. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't. My sister and brother, they did really well. He went, and but I was the guy that had the different mindset. I definitely danced to the beat of a different drummer, and I wasn't ready, and I didn't do great in my early years. My undergraduate degree, I did not. I went for journalism communications. Now, as you can see, I'm putting it together now, how many years later it took. But the backstory here is I eventually went back, worked for some big companies, got my master's degree, and here I am. I believe I've reached where I want to be right now, being able to speak to people, to communicate with people, the news, information, analysis, commentary. But it took time. Not everybody's ready to go to college at 18, and I learned that the hard way. And I did a video a while back kind of going over some of those fundamentals, or what I think are fundamentals, and how to get your kid ready for college. So right now, colleges and universities are under attack. Now, having gone to a liberal arts college, let me tell you, it's different. For me, it was different. But more and more people complain. And I say more and more people, a lot of right-wing people. They hate their schools. They're not teaching anything. They're dumbing people down. Colleges and universities are liberal. They're woke. They're teaching all these crazy ideas to their kids. So they're trying to pull them away from this. And that's what Donald Trump wants to do. Not because he cares about the kid, because Donald Trump wants to control what colleges and universities teach, because he wants them to teach what he believes. Okay? He doesn't want woke people. He wants literally people that are asleep, that'll believe anything he says. So where do we go? Where's this going? What's happening? We're going to talk about that right now. Here's a quote from former Harvard University President Larry Summers. The law does not say you can engage in extortion. And when you simply cut off funding based on a set of conditions, that's extortion. He went on to say that he thinks what the president's ultimate goal is for universities is to bend the knee. As I said, teach what I want you to teach, how I want you to teach it. Get rid of any liberal ideas. Get rid of woke. Get rid of anything that contradicts with Donald Trump's belief, all the conspiracy theories he promotes. You better be in line with those. We're going to take your funding because I'm the king. I'm the president. I'm the dictator. I'm the ruler. You listen to me. Remember what he said? I rule this country and I rule the world. No, you don't. And so there's a backlash against Trump and his crazy belief system. Now, for those that believe him and want this type of system, just put your kids in those private schools. Go build your own private colleges. Go to some of these right-wing colleges. Believe me, they're useless. If you want someone to learn and grow, as long as you raise up your child, here we go, raise up your child in the way he should go. He won't stray far. They'll stray. I sure did. But they come back. But if you taught them right, if they saw the example you set, if it's a good example, that keeps them from straying far. But you can't force a kid not to be woke, not to care. We want people not to care about anybody but our values, what we think, what we want you to think. And some of that's cockeyed. Believe me. And I've talked about this early on, and I've been asked not to sort of hammer those groups that promote this. So, out of respect, for now, I am not attacking the groups that promote this right-wing crazy talk. This put the blinders on, don't look to the right or left. Well, guess what? Liberal education is important. It's important to grow, for your mind to expand, and for you to understand the world and how other people live. Having empathy. Oh my. If you saw my video, go back if you did not, about empathy and Elon Musk. This is embarrassing to me. This is embarrassing for our country. The lack of empathy and the people who claim they're the purveyors of it. You know who those groups are. But see, it's empathy for themselves and for their buddy that looks like them. For everybody else, it's, we're going to get you. My last two videos, we talked about that. So there was an interview with Professor Alan Lightman. Now, he's the professor of the practice of humanities at MIT. Wow. MIT. Okay, it's good. Now, he was asked about this whole confrontation with the federal government. What's at stake? There's a lot at stake, my friends. There is. It's bigger than just these colleges and universities, and we try to touch base on that in all my videos. There's deeper problems here. These, again, are symptoms. Donald Trump is a symptom of a bigger problem. Let's see what Professor Lightman said. First of all, he said, well, at stake is that colleges and universities in our country have made America great. Wow. So he nailed Mr. Trump or Donald Trump or President Trump right in the face. Well, it wasn't you or you that's going to make America great again. Our colleges have been at the front line of teaching for a lot of years. And a lot of people came out. I'm one of them. Productive member of society came out of those colleges. Well, they're teaching the wrong stuff. They're making our kids be more liberal. There's nothing wrong with liberal. There's nothing wrong with Democrats. We, again, have created this divide. And Donald Trump just exasperated it. He didn't make the divide. It was already there. He just uses it. He masterfully uses the divide to maintain his base, to maintain his power, to get what he wants. Okay, professor goes on to say they operate in an atmosphere of academic freedom, which is the ability to discuss and debate without the fear of outside censure and restrictions. The ability to let the mind wander. Listen, I'm a dreamer. My sister always used to tell me, David, you're right, but you're a dreamer. But dreamers have a unique ability as well to see things that can be, to see the best in people, and sometimes to see the worst in people, sometimes to break the confines of what this world is trying to offer, especially in this government we have now that's trying to rein that all in, that's trying to limit our freedom, limit what we can dream, what we can think, and break it down into bad and good, evil guys and us good guys. It's a 10-year-old child in a man's body. That's what 10-year-old children think. There's a cooties on that girl. You're not going to think so in about 5 years or less. Just saying. Now, he went on to say, many of the great inventions and innovations have come out of our universities and colleges. The internet came out of research at UCLA, Stanford, and MIT. The artificial heart came out of the University of Utah. Now, Trump is arguing that academic freedom of Jewish students is at stake here, that these academic institutions have become a harbor of anti-Semitism. That's one of his excuses. Once again, this is crazy talk. We have a bunch of colleges here in Pittsburgh, and again, the same thing we talked about yesterday. Hordes of mass murders and shootings and riots and crime. But there's no statistical data to prove anything he says. And again, it's the same here. He's a liar, and he makes it up as he goes along. But you see, he knows the people that support him will believe him. People are eating the cats and dogs. Now, Professor Lightman responded to this as well. He said, this is just an excuse to strangle the universities, which often tend to be more liberal, more free-thinking. Okay, I have to say this. That's my point. Trump doesn't want you to think for yourself. He wants the people that only listen to what he says. Tariffs are great for you. You're not paying the tariff. China is paying the tariff. No. Anyway, we go on to say here, He said, I believe that using the excuse of anti-Semitism on campus is just a ruse. It's a guise. I don't think that is the real issue. Now, another question was posed. If the federal government is providing funding through grants to universities, should they have a say as to what the universities do? Do they have a stake in the university? Now, Professor Lightman disagreed. He says, no, I don't think so. Universities and colleges are for the benefit of all of our citizens, just like roads and bridges. The state and federal governments provide funding to build roads and bridges, but they don't tell the engineers how to build them. They leave the expertise to the engineer. So, in other words here, right, what do you know about colleges and universities, Donald? You barely got through your education. We know you read at like a 12th or 10th grade level. Some believe less. Not me saying this, people that know him. So why would you get involved when you know nothing? The reason isn't because of academics. It's because of the culture on university campuses. It's not a right-wing conservative campus. They're liberal. They have people from all walks of life there, from all races there. And he doesn't like it. He once taught, just like he once taught in grade schools, salute the flag. You obey the flag. Obey your country. Obey your leader. We're going to get to why that's not a good idea right here. And the professor goes on. And I think it's similar here, that colleges and universities have been operating for a long time now. And we know that academic freedom and outside interference is very important to the atmosphere and ethos within the universities. So I think we should just let the universities do what they have been doing so well for the past 250 years. And finally, we hear this. It's kind of a blackmail. I think the current administration wants to throttle the kinds of ideas and criticisms that come out of colleges and universities. But of course, criticism is part of the academic freedom we just discussed. We challenge authority. That is the nature of the ethos and atmosphere in colleges and universities. Bingo! Bingo. Drop the mic. Drop the mic. He's right. The fact is that colleges and universities breed ideas. That's what it's about. You would not have anything today without somebody having an idea. And not just physical, not just the building of a computer or a heart or whatever it is. It's other ideas. It's ideas about how to live. It's ideas of freedom, of expression. If anything, America is a country of expression. That's what we saw in the 60s. You didn't have to like what happened in the 60s. There was an expression of young people, bottled up for many years. Bottled up. That's what happens. People, that is what happens when you don't allow people to freely express themselves. For all the years, wearing the shirts to school and the hair slicked back and being a certain way and having rules and regulations all the time, what you can and can't do. That's fine, except at some point there has to be freedom of expression. Not violent, not a way to hurt yourself, but a freedom to express yourself from your heart. And we saw that outpouring in the 60s, like Woodstock. Woodstock was an event of expression. Again, you don't have to agree with what went on there. You don't. But it's an outpouring of that expression that was bottled up for so many years. And we now saw a revolution. That revolution, again, whether you like it or not, spawned the anti-war movement. If we didn't have that freedom of expression, if we did not have the ability to go out and protest en masse, you'd still be in the Vietnam War. I've said this before, and I'll keep using that example, because pressure then was put on the government. See, criticism. The government was being criticized for their policies in Vietnam and how they lied and how they covered up. College campuses are designed for that as well. Designed. Maybe not designed, but it's an afterthought of it. When people get together and they say, wait a minute, that's wrong. And give your young people credit. More and more of them know what's right or wrong. They really do. If you taught them well, they'll know. They may not always show it, but at some point it pops up. And in the 60s, it came out. This is wrong. People our age are being butchered, murdered, destroyed, crippled. For what? a war we couldn't win, a war we shouldn't have been involved with, and a war that came at the cost of so many lives on both sides and so much money. Money that actually was made by the military-industrial complex, which is still part of it all today. So we got to draw a line here. Donald Trump, get out of the business of colleges and universities. If you want to do anything, make improvements that matter for everybody, for all people. Don't try to make the campuses the right-wing arm of the MAGA movement. Let these people live their lives and be who they want to be. Stay out of it. You barely got 3 years left. People are on to you. More and more people are on to you. Your base is even on to you. You've screwed them, you've hurt them. And the ones that want to stick with you, I feel sorry for those people because they don't get it. We all know who you are. On this channel, we're going to continue to tell people who you are and challenge what you're saying, challenge what you believe, challenge your policies because you are a dictator, or at least that's what you're trying to be. You're already past authoritarian. You are. You're already past that point. You're heading toward dictator, and if you had a shot, you'd be sure you crowned yourself a dictator. You'd be sure you crowned yourself a king. But there's people standing against you. And I call upon everybody who watches this video to stand with me. Stand against tyranny. Stand for what's right. Let's support our colleges and universities. Let's support those young people that go there to learn, to grow, to express themselves. Well, that's all the time I have. I hope we've enlightened you today. God bless you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. That's what we need. We need people to continue to share and to continue to join our cause. And it is growing, and I appreciate all of you. I do. God bless you. I appreciate all of you. Once again, I have a link to our sister channel, Nights Around the Fire. We're actually having a meeting here tomorrow about the next videos. So come join us on the Nights Around the Fire podcast. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It'll take some stress off, some pressure off from this crazy world. Again, thanks for watching. And remember, we'll see you tomorrow right here on your favorite place for news, information, analysis, and don't forget commentary, The David Tomsic Show. Good day.